Srila Prabhupada chose ISKCON Mayapur as his place of worship and the world headquarters for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada has established the Sri Mayapur Chandradoy Mandir here and the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. And he exclaimed that this Mayapur is my place of worship. Bombay is my office and Vrindavan is my home. Srila Prabhupada instructed us on what deities he wanted here. He said you should have Radha Madhava deities. They should be, Madhava should be 5 foot 10 inches and Radharani should be 5 foot 8.5. And Krishna, he should be made from black marble and Radharani should be made from white marble. And you can also, and he said make the pose like the small Radha Madhava, they're like offering something to Krishna. He also instructed us on installing the Panchatattva. He said Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya you should make life size. Lord Chaitanya, he was 7 feet tall. So you make 7 feet tall from metal, solid metal. And you have the whole Panchatattva. So this was authorized by Srila Prabhupada. And also he said you should get Astashaki, 8 gopis with Radha Madhava. And also there should be a Guru Parampara altar. And we have like 15 deities from Srila Prabhupada up to the Narottam, to the 6 Goswami. So there'll be 15 deities there, our previous Acharyas. This was Prabhupada's desire. So now the deity department has expanded so much in different ways. Approximately 60 pujaris who take care of the daily worship. Radha Madhava, Panchatattva, we have Gonitai and Bhajan Kuti, Prabhupada's rooms. There are different people who help making flower garlands. There's about 40 Matajis actually who make the flower garlands. We have flower gardens here. We have a flower garland over there with a big moat. We're supposed to grow some lotus flowers. Also, in Jagannath Mandir, the highland is there, it doesn't flood. We have gardens also, flower gardens for the deities here. So the flower garlands are maintained by about 20 local devotees. Every day there are approximately 100 garlands made for all the deities. Then we also have about 20 devotees, 20 or more. They're making the, we also have a dressmaking department here with about 20 devotees. And they do all the stitching, the jewelry work, making beautiful dresses for Radha Madhava. Others, they're making flower vases, hand posies. Most of the jewelry that Radha Madhava wear are made by the local devotees. We have about 10 full-time cooks on a regular basis. On festival times we have up to 40 cooks. Mostly the Matajis are coming to cooking and helping. So we're trying to offer a Chapan Bhog every day, 56 items. For the Raj Bhog alone we're offering about 20 different sabjis and then all other kind of foods. Foodstuffs are offered throughout the day. So in 1972, Srila Prabhupada began this project here. At that time, the small deities of Sri Radha Madhava were here. And we had the first International Society for Krishna Consciousness Gaur Purnima Festival in 1972, March. And Srila Prabhupada came and attended that festival. About 70 devotees came. And After the program had finished and everybody left, Srila Prabhupada said that the deities of Radha Madhava, they should stay here now, they should not leave, they're in Mayapur. So he wanted them to stay here. So the only building we had at that time was a thatched hut, or what we call Prabhupada's Bhajan Kutir, with a straw roof. And so the deities were sitting in there, just a small table was there and a cloth over the table, and that was it. There's an old photograph, and you can see Radha Madhava standing there, and they have some ears of corn in a vase, just a vase and some ears of corn, because there were no flowers to offer at that time. It was also a drought that year, so it was very, very dry. We had no flowers, no money. I used to pick the portals. They had a little yellow flower which had no center in it. It's not supposed to be offered. It's actually a sabji. But somehow or another that was a flare flower. We would offer these flowers. And we had a budget for the sweets, daily sweets of Radha Madhava, which was 3 rupees. No, 1 rupee and 50 paisa. And we would buy 2 pieces of sandesh, 75 paisa each. And we used to cut them into 6 pieces for the 6 offerings we were having in the day. There was no electricity, no running water, no bathrooms. But somehow or another, even Srila Prabhupada was here. He wasn't at all fazed by the lack of facility. He's just coming from New York, Los Angeles, and etc. Sophisticated cities, and now he's sitting in this grass hut in Mayapur. No facilities whatsoever. Prabhupada he just continued his same schedule as usual. He wasn't fazed by the lack of facility. But one time, Bhavananda Prabhu, who was the president, he said, we're sitting in rice fields, Srila Prabhupada here. I'm from New York City. The architect, Rabi, was from Amsterdam, and the pujaris from London. We're from cities around the world, and we're sitting in these rice fields, and you're saying, build a temple in the city here. Where will all the money come from, Prabhupada? And Srila Prabhupada laughed, and he said, Bhavananda, he said, always worried, where will money come from? He said, here you have Radha Madhava. He said, Madhava means husband of the goddess of fortune. So you simply serve Radha Madhava nicely, and all fortune will come. You won't have any problem. So we're trying to serve Radha Madhava nicely, and we're seeing how much development is going. Actually, Mayapur has never gone down or even stopped. It's always increased. In all the situations, it just increased. Many pilgrims are coming from long distances. They've heard about the glories of Mayapur Dham, see the deities of Radha Madhava. Devotees worldwide also come here. Most devotees come here once on Gaur Purnima every year. Prabhupada wanted that. And there are so many viewers who watch the Mayapur TV and attend the programs on television. So this is becoming a very prominent place of pilgrimage. In West Bengal, we have beautiful gardens here and deities, restaurants, so everybody can come here and take prasadam and see the nice situation we have here. When we were the only people here around here, this was isolated, like jungle land here. And we go to the Ganga and collect Ganga Jal and Ganga Mati and come back and polish Radha Madhava deities and bathe them with the Ganga Jal. Now we see how much the expansion has taken place here. Jayadeva Goswami, he was living here at Pitukunda. He was here actually, he wrote the Dasavatar Shrota. So he was living here at the time of the King Lakshman Sen. He was a Pandit to King Lakshman Sen. This was a couple of hundred years before even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared here. But he wrote one poem where he described a transcendental city will appear here. And he prophesied that the predominating deities of that city will be known as Sri Radha Madhava. This was a couple of hundred years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even. Yeah, so this is the desires of the previous Acharyas. You can see their hand is working. We are simply trying to be instruments in their hands and serving the instructions of these Acharyas, and just see the wonderful results. So many devotees are just serving here nicely, and that's all that's expected. And Lord Chaitanya can work through the devotees and help realize his desires that have from Sridham Mayapur, the eternal service of Gauranga will spread all over the world. So we're getting closer and closer to that day. From the humble beginning, now the T.O.V.P is almost completed, which means we'll attract more thousands and thousands of people will be coming. Awaken their attraction by staying in the Dham for some time, by hearing the Bhagavatam, by chanting the holy names, by worshipping the deity. These 5 items that, along with chanting Hare Krishna, these 5 items are very conducive for awakening one's love for Godhead, urging everybody to please somehow or another help and do some seva for Sridham Mayapur, expand it, fulfill the desires of the previous Acharyas. This is the best thing we can do for ourselves and the best thing for others. Radha Madhav ki jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai. Jai Gopinath.